Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Brett McCollum, and I'm here today with Robert Herrick. And today we're going to be talking about how he does real estate across the country. Interesting. Before we do, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Without further ado, Robert, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Dude, great, man. Good catching up with you. I wish we had even a few more minutes to get to know each other, but the little bit that we did, man, I'm like, it's what I say this too often. But I'm like, I'm going to be best friends with this guy before we're done. It's going to be great. But I want more people to get to know you, man. Give us some history, some background, catch us up to speed. Who is Robert?
Yeah, I grew up in California. I went to college in Indiana, got done with college, and bounced around to almost every job you can think of for many years. But I knew in the back of my mind, my mom did real estate. I was going to go back to real estate. So in 2017, I became a real estate agent, started out there for a couple years. And then it's funny, in 2019, a friend went to a conference. She, really wanted me to go with her. I didn't want to go. Eventually I said, okay, fine. And it was this real estate flipping conference. And I ended up buying the program, and, she didn't, but right around that time, my aunt passed away. She had a house in North Hollywood and a condo in Van Nuys, which, for those of you who don't know, is the north side of Los Angeles, where I'm a real estate agent. And so right around that time, I just got access to all of these videos, all these documents from this company that has since closed. But I was able to just take on a couple of projects right away. So got the renters out of the Van Nuys condo. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And then renovated the house, made the back house a duplex. And then from there, I wanted to keep going. I got the bug at that point. But everything in California was really, especially LA, was really pricey. So I went back to, where I went to college, Indiana. Started buying up rentals there. And then eventually I wanted to do more flipping. And a friend of mine said, well, hey, I want to do this with you. I'm from Birmingham. We should look out there. I said, okay, sounds good. At this point, done about a dozen flips out there. And it's been fun.
Incredible, man. Yeah. Wow. I don't want to miss this either. Because this is kind of a big deal, what I'm about to say, okay? And I think you'll agree with me the moment I say it, because she'll listen. She'll be listening to this, I'm sure. You're engaged, I hear. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Dude, somebody agreed to marry you. That's a big deal.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, and she's great. She's actually from Argentina. So she just moved here about 6-7 years ago, and we met, and she's great. I'm a lucky guy.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
That's incredible. I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to tee you up for some bonus points here, man. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. But no, let's back up a little bit. So you went to college in Indiana. What school was it?
IU, Indiana University in Bloomington. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So is it normal for people from LA to go to Indiana to college?
No, man. I was everybody when I was out there. I was one of the only guys from California. Everybody, I answered that question 1,000 times. Like, why are you out here? But yeah, big business school. That was really great. Beautiful campus, big sports teams, and it's just a really fun little college town. And I grew up in California. I love it here, but just wanted to do something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. So you're there in Indiana all 4 years, or was it, how long were you there?
Well, actually, 3 of the 4 years, and then 1 year I was actually in Hong Kong. Studied out there, yeah. So that was wild. If any of you ever have a chance to go to Hong Kong, it's a really metropolitan international city. Very, very cool. They've had some recent changes, but it's still a really, really cool city.
Yeah. American tourist friendly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And everything, I mean, it was a British colony until 97, so everything's in Chinese and in English, every sign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And almost everyone speaks at least some English, so it's really very, very friendly for American tourists.
Very accessible. That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely on the list. I'm not going to lie. It's on my list for sure, places to go. So.
It's fun. And the food. Incredible.
Can't beat it, dude. Yeah, don't tempt. Okay, yeah, let's stay on track because we will go off the rails on that one here for a bit.
I do this too often, yeah.
I know, right? All right, so you're back in LA, and you get this. Let's talk about that property a little bit. So the first one there, how'd you come about it again?
So aunt passed away, and she had a house and a condo from her marriage, and so there were two older women living in this condo, and this thing was just these women were older and they were really not all there mentally. So one of them moved out, and then another one I basically had to go in there, help her move out and give her some money. And I tell you, the whole condo was 750 square feet, so it wasn't big, but we found thousands of roaches. Thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was everything you're taking off the wall, a roach was running out from behind it. It was just that kind of chaos. And these women just hadn't even noticed, weren't even, they weren't all there necessarily. But they were sweet and they had family that took them in and everything. But this was a great project to start on. Just a small condo that I could really, do slowly and implement the stuff I'd been learning.
Yes. Question I had thought of when you were saying that, or like kind of earlier, is you were talking about like I did every job out after college. I did all the things.
Yeah.
How does it come? Like, because I'll be honest with you. So for me personally, like I never set out to be a real estate investor. That was not my life stream. Okay, that was just not. It kind of fell upon me. I know you said your aunt passed away, but like. And I hope this doesn't come off as crass, Robert, like, and that's not my heart here. But a lot of our family members pass away. Like, how did you go, well, I want to do something with it? Like, where did that come from?
Like I said, I mean, there was something just kind of in the back of my mind where I kind of always thought real estate was going to be the end game. I don't know why, necessarily. Maybe because Monopoly was my favorite game growing up. I would knock on neighbors' doors to play with me. Not really kidding. But it was funny. My friend taking me to that conference, and just I'm watching some of the some of the stuff, and then I started just reading everything I could about investing, and I
Which
realized, wow,
conference
I
was it?
love this.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Which
What?
conference was it? What kind of conference
It's,
was it?
it was for fortune builders because they were doing this
Oh
company at the
yeah.
time where they would help basically mentor you and teach you how to do a lot of this stuff. So it's basically exactly like, or it's very similar to what Investor Fuel does, which
Yeah.
is really cool and what allowed me to get off the ground. If I didn't have that, there was no way I would have been able to scale as much as I have in about 4.5 years. Um,
Right.
so it was really nice to have. They closed down about a year and a half after I signed up, but I still have access to all this stuff. And, it's just once I got a bug for it, some of the flipping, it was just like, wow, this is fun. I love the number aspect of it, just financially figuring out ways to make things work. And
Right.
yeah, just every step is just fun.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I mean, because it's tough because when we have family that goes through stuff and you've seen that, but it's also there's that blessing in disguise of like, man, I'm sorry that happened, but like, I bet Aunt would have been like, man, I'm looking down. She's probably like, I'm glad this happened for you, Robert, kind of thing, because it led to you getting doing all the things. So we're gonna do a little bit of a journey walk on like kind of what you do. Okay, so you're a realtor in Los
Mhm.
Angeles. Is that correct?
Yeah. And I do, I work with just about everybody, but the majority of the clients I have are um, investors and people looking
Cool.
to, either house hack or buy a rental property that makes sense, but a lot of multifamily stuff.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that question of like,
Yeah.
okay, LA, notoriously one of the most, like competitive markets in the country.
Mhm.
Um, no shortage of other Roberts out there, realtors, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, in a very hyper expensive, like, you know, place. What are you doing? And that answers it perfectly. I work with investors. I do this right here, like carving out that niche. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So I
How's that
mean,
been?
it's nice. It's one of those things just, and I wasn't for the first couple of years I was doing this. I just didn't acknowledge that as something I had extra knowledge in.
Yeah.
And I just, business took a while to get going. But then after a while, I started working with just some friends looking for an investment property or a place to house hack. And all of a sudden I realized like, oh, because basically 2020 hit COVID and I just spent that entire time while we were indoors just reading about real estate investing, about house hacking, about all this stuff. Like I taught myself that and guitar. And it was so at this point, it's just been nice that I can help. I can really talk people through like, hey, here are all these areas. Here's what you
Yep.
can do, can't do. Here's why you can get this one at a good value, and none of that's on the sheet you're looking at right now. But like, at this point, I've been an agent for almost 8 years, and you just learn some things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you learn by doing a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right. That's the LA piece, right? And this is the part that's going to be kind of interesting. Like so you're doing stuff in both Indiana and also Birmingham, Alabama. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
What it's the old age old. Which came first? Which one was first, Indiana or Birmingham?
Indiana first. And that was the first duplex I bought out there was just nice, easy rental property, cash flows for me, and wasn't too expensive. And that was a nice little way to get started. But I knew Indianapolis because I'd gone to college there.
Yeah.
Um, and I've got like a second cousin out there who's able to kind of check in on stuff for me if I need her to. And so that worked, but that was still a little slow. And I like, you know,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I don't have any kids or anything at this point, and I just like throwing myself into a bunch of different projects. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, a buddy of mine approached me about flipping, and I'd been wanting to do that. And so I said, okay, Indianapolis will be my buy and hold area, and Birmingham will be more of my flipping area. And that's how generally that part of it got started.
Yeah, that's super cool. Let's target the Indiana for a moment. So obviously that makes total sense because like when I was talking, I'm like, why is this guy like what is this? That makes total sense now, though, right? How are you buying there actively now, or are you kind of like what does that kind of what does that look like today for you?
Yeah, so now I have a couple out there. Um, And yeah, I mean, I'm still looking right now. I've got a massive project in Birmingham that we're trying to finish up. So it's like last several months, I really haven't been focusing much on buying out there. But yeah, I mean, the idea is ideally flip one or two places in Birmingham and then buy a rental in Indianapolis and just
Yeah.
kind of diversify. Um, so yeah, all of them have been, they're relatively cheap and they're cash flowing, $700, $800, maybe $1,000 a month. But they're just nice. They're just nice to have. And
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, I'm never going to sell them.
Yeah. Well, here's this is kind of probably a layup for you, but like, why the Midwest specifically for you now, Indiana and Indianapolis? Why does that make sense as the rental market that why not do your rental market in Birmingham? Why is it better in Indiana?
I like that. So again, a couple of things. It's just how I got it started.
Okay.
Admittedly, but I really like the infrastructure that Indianapolis has, and in Birmingham too. But Indianapolis, the job creation's been steady there. The population growth has been steady there. It's one of the quietly bigger cities in the Midwest that really just has several different places that are close to it too, which I really like. Other big cities. So, people travel through it a lot, and it just has a lot of stable metrics that are just especially for what I'm looking for a rental place, stable metrics are good, you know.
Yeah. Stability is everything. It's consistency. It's predictable.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's not
I,
too reliant on any one industry either, like, Detroit and
right.
the car industry. It's really there's a multiple different companies that are out there really making stuff happen.
Yeah. So you know far more about it than I do, but some limited studying I've done, albeit into that market area. Um, it seems like, from what I gather, is buy pricing, like you can buy it for, it rents higher than you can buy it for, if that makes sense. It has stronger rents than how do I say this right? If I bought it for 100K, let's just make up a number here, and it might rent for 1,400 instead of
Yeah,
that
more than the
traditional.
1%
Yeah,
rule.
it rents higher than that, and whereas that's really hard to achieve in a lot of markets where you can actually even get that 1%. You can actually rent stronger in some of these Midwest markets. Do you find that to be true for for the things you're seeing out there?
Definitely. What's interesting is, I mean, Indianapolis is like a lot of other places where I had to really, once I got into that market, and I did the same thing with Birmingham, really study several maps of the city. Because what you'll find is that for probably two-thirds of the city, that's not the case. But for about a third
Hmm.
of it, it is. Um, and, maybe a little bit more than that, but but then you never want to buy a rental in a D area, right? And ideally not even in a C minus area. You want a C, C plus, B minus area, B area when you're buying your rentals. So it's that tricky balance of getting a nice return, but also, you know, buying it in a nice area.
Right.
So yeah, there's definitely more out there. I mean, Los Angeles, you can't find cash flow really out here at all. But
Yeah.
um, inversely, in Los Angeles, you get the appreciation bump that you don't necessarily get in, Indianapolis. So
Right.
it's a trade-off. But yeah, the rental rates out there for the purchase price are definitely more favorable, especially in those Midwest towns. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the things I've been seeing too. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Birmingham, you got a buddy. He's living out there. How long ago was this that he approached you with that idea?
That would have been 2022, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And you guys
not long
done a
ago.
dozen flips at this point?
What's that?
About 10, 12 flips, you said?
Yeah. Well, so I guess out in Birmingham. So I guess in Birmingham we've done probably 9 because I'm including uh when I say that number, that's like how many I've done in total. But yeah, out in Birmingham probably about 9. Um and yeah, he lived out here and he was moving back there. And so it's been nice to have him as boots on the ground.
Really? Yeah.
Um, yeah, and really, I learned my lesson from Indianapolis, where I started out there. I had a contractor for the very first. We bought the first rental, fixed it up, and that guy was scatterbrained. He charged me for things he didn't do, didn't charge me for other things he did. So this time around, I was very careful about who I met, the team I put together out there.
Right.
The very first project we found and we got under contract, I had 4 contractors go out there. I talked through it with all of them. I had them all send me itemized bids of what they were going to do, how they were going to do it. And, just through that process, 3 of them sent me bids, but one of them was just kind of careless. And really, one guy in particular separated himself. And he's been great. He's done all our projects. He's one of those guys that just loves to works very hard. So he's been great. We've got a great real estate agent out there. That was, again, the same thing, just calling a bunch
Yep.
of people, talking through them. And I recommend that to anybody who's doing this kind of work and you're breaking into a new market. Take your time to study it. And really, you're not going to want to interview 4 contractors. It's awkward, but do it. Do
Gotta
it
do
because you'll
it.
find one that's really great.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of leads me into kind of like a little transition, but still on topic with, you know, outside markets. Like, you can, I mean, heck, man, how you're 3 time zones removed, and LA out to, it's some of the talk about a couple of the challenges that you walk through kind of routinely. And then obviously I'm sure you've kind of made some pivots and changes accordingly, but like talk about some of those challenges. What do they look like for you?
It's interesting. I mean, one of them is, the time zone thing can be tricky. I'm not a morning person. Unfortunately, my mind just works so much better at night, but, so many things are happening out there. So frequently I'll wake up and, it's 7:15 in the morning and I'm getting, it's 9:15 out there and or in Indianapolis, it's 10:15 and I'm just getting a bunch of emails or a bunch of like calls and texts and stuff like that. So, dealing with stuff like that, inversely, then those markets, a lot of those people close around 2 or 3 p.m. my time. So
Yeah.
sometimes oh shoot, I got to get to that. Oh shoot, it's already closed. I have to do it tomorrow. So that's a bit of a challenge. And then really having, and again, I kind of learned this on my first Indianapolis place, but like we would do FaceTime tours of the property. Okay, it looks good. But then you come to find out, well, yeah, it looks good, but the windows don't open in some of the rooms. And so it's
Yeah.
really creating like a bunch of processes so that everything is being checked. Flying out there a good amount. I've done that a good amount, which is, nice at this point. But I don't have to do it as much now because I trust my team. But
Right.
just going out there to just double check everything, make sure it's the way it is and the way it's been done the way they said that it was going to get done.
Hmm.
But yeah, just slowly working through checks and balances.
Yeah, it takes time, and you've been, to good SOPs, making sure you know exactly, but when you're going through the ropes and learning them all, like you're developing, those skills along the way,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this leads to another good, like we were talking a little bit kind of before the show of different things, and I really like asking this question. Because there's so many people listening to this, Robert. They're in an LA, or they're in a, I'm in Florida, and there's a lot, I mean, all these hyper competitive locations, and they're like, I'm thinking about, let's say Indianapolis or Kansas City, or name the Midwest town, right? I'm thinking
Yeah.
about, but like, I couldn't do that from here, you know. Um, what's some advice you would give that person? Obviously what you said is making those phone calls and getting to know those people. But what's some good advice you can leave, some wisdom that like, hey, I did it. This is what I've learned. Like, give us a couple things that might be helpful.
Yeah. Um, I'll admit, I mean, having the one yeah, starting nearby to where I live was nice because I was able to go and walk around and see the first two projects I ever did.
Yeah.
If you have that opportunity, that's definitely something I would suggest doing for your very first project. There's just so many things that you don't know. And just
Right.
being there, having your contractor walk through it and point out all these different things and just knowing, again, these first ones were in LA, so I knew that market a little bit better. That was nice. But once you get out there, it's it's really understanding your market, talking to everyone you can about all these different areas, and you'll find, you look at something on a map, and you think you can flip it for this because that house down the street just sold for that. But you don't realize that that's literally on the other side of a train. This happened to me
Yeah.
one time. Literally on the other side of a train track where that's the nice neighborhood and this is the not as nice neighborhood. And
Right.
so asking a bunch of questions and really just getting into it with your real estate agent, with your contractor, getting a bunch of their opinions from different people, and working through, all these different areas, the comps you're seeing, stuff like that. Um, and then especially for some of you newer guys, it's having a mentor or having somebody that can really like walk through this stuff with you.
True.
Um, it was nice for me to have a bunch of these videos and documents and stuff, but admittedly, some of the mistakes I've made, I've talked to people who have become mentors since, and they just, well, why'd you do that? Well, nobody was telling me I couldn't or
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Um, but it's part of the fun of it, It's just you're going into it and you're kind of seeing what works and what doesn't work, and it's like you've talked about on the podcast. It's problem solving a lot of times. Just
You do. I mean, that's kind of why we earn a paycheck as investors. We problem solve, right? At the
yeah,
end of the day, problem solve in the beginning, problem solve during, and problem solving at the end, and then post. I mean, it's always problem solving. It just changes.
yeah.
Um, but man, this has been great. I really appreciate like you kind of just coming in here and just dumping out all the things, for us and showing people the possibility of honestly what's possible. If like you don't have to be strapped to the market that you're in necessarily, and there
No,
is
you
a
definitely
path.
don't.
Yeah, and you can. I love, and I didn't say this to you. I love the fact that you have clear vision, meaning my rentals are here, my flips are here. This is my vision. This is clear cut. This is how I'm doing it. Not to say you're not going to do something else, but I love the defined, like this is how we're doing it, and I think that speaks to the success you're having.
Thanks. Yeah, you know what? I have to attribute some of that to my fiance as well. I mean, she's kind of helped me. I've got all these thoughts, all these things I want to do, and just in a lot of ways helped me kind of condense and stay a little bit more focused and clean everything up because that's how more
Yeah,
things get done.
for sure. Well, man, how if people want to connect with you, reach out, something like that? Like, what's the best way for that to happen?
Yeah, I'm one of the worst millennials when it comes to social media. But Robert Tyler Herrick Real Estate on Instagram, that is probably the best way to get a hold of me. And
Yeah.
then if you ever want to shoot me an email, roberttylerherrick@gmail.com. If you have any questions about like especially about the LA market or anything like that too, I'm always happy to just answer those for anybody who's
Yeah.
interested. And if anybody ever wants to get into anything in Birmingham, Indianapolis, let me know.
Perfect. We'll make sure that gets in the show notes for everybody too. But man, dude, it's been really good getting to know you. I mean, you keep it local and with your investor clientele, there, and then on the personal side, being able to have the vision in Indiana and then also in Alabama. And it's been really great getting to learn more from you, man. So thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you again for Robert for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.